News reports play on screen. Nuclear fallout is spreading over the Pacific Ocean. The federal government has officially declared Los Angeles uninhabitable. The National Guard is moving the last remaining residents out. The world is falling apart. Rick Jansen drives through the gates of a large military base. A base official sits beside him in the vehicle and explains what the place is. It covers 4 square miles. 3,000 people live and work there. Rick is told that contact with the outside world will be very limited. Rick does not seem bothered by this. Rick, his wife Abigail, and their young son Lucas are taken to their new house on a newly built street inside the base. Dr. Freya Upton, one of the researchers on the program, walks them through the home. She tells them to call her anytime if they need anything at all. Abigail walks slowly and looks at everything carefully. Lucas calls his parents outside to look at the sky. He asks which moon they're going to. Rick tells him he can't see it without a telescope, but it's out there, and Lucas will see it himself one day. Rick meets Professor Martin Collingwood in person for the first time. Collingwood is glad to see him and tells Rick how satisfying it was to take his test results. Rick says it is an honor to be chosen. Rick tells him straight that he will not let him down. Collingwood tells him that doing something new and difficult always comes with risks. Collingwood then turns to Abigail. He thanks her personally, telling her that Rick would not be standing here if it were not for her. He acknowledges the medical career she put to one side and the worry she has carried. Abigail tells him he does not need to win her over. She has read his work and knows what they are part of. Collingwood speaks to all the selected candidates in a briefing room. He goes through the state of the world: population out of control, the environment broken, resources almost gone, wars burning through what little is left. In 10 years, half the planet will not be fit to live on. In 15 years, half the world will have starved. He then presents Titan, Saturn's largest moon. It has an atmosphere, rivers, and lakes of liquid methane. The air cannot be breathed. The cold would kill a person instantly, and conditions are completely hostile to human life. But the answer is not to change Titan to suit humanity. It is to change humanity to suit Titan. With the right changes to the body, a person could breathe Titan's air, swim in its waters, and survive its temperatures. He tells them they will become themselves, but better. Dr. Hernandez raises an objection, asking how their bodies will not reject the treatment. Collingwood explains the process and is clear about the risks. Some of them will not respond to the drugs, and most will not make it through. Hernandez asks how many will die. Before Collingwood can answer, Rick asks Hernandez whether he has children. Hernandez says no. Rick tells him to be quiet or leave. Dr. Freya fits each candidate with a monitoring device. She tells them there will be a great deal of monitoring and that she will be giving each of them over 300 injections in the coming weeks. The compounds are designed to slowly shift how the body burns energy, training it to run on nitrogen the way it currently runs on oxygen. She explains that Titan's air is 90% nitrogen with less than 5% oxygen, while Earth's is about 75% nitrogen and 20% oxygen. The candidates and their families gather at a backyard barbecue. Someone raises a drink and says this may be the last chance some of them have to drink for a while. Anton Werner says it is a one-way trip and there is nothing left on Earth worth staying for. The night winds down and the families head back to their houses. Abigail has had too much to drink. Rick takes her by the arm and walks her upstairs. Rick starts coughing badly. She checks him over immediately. He is burning up. Abigail holds him and tries to steady him and gives him medicine. She stays with him for the rest of the night. Pool training begins. The candidates get in the water and the sessions start. Rick moves faster than anyone else and stays underwater far longer than any normal person could manage. When Rick comes up, he is calm and relaxed, as if nothing unusual has happened. That same evening, Rick and Abigail swim together in the pool on their own. Abigail looks at his skin. The veins running along his back are much darker than they should be. The color is not normal. She says nothing to Rick. She lets go, and they keep swimming. Lucas sits with Rick at bedtime and reads aloud from a book about Saturn and Titan. Lucas asks Rick whether he will really go there one day. Rick says yes, that they will go together. He turns on the small star projector and says good night, Earthling. Rayan Gorski finds a moment alone with Abigail and asks her something direct. Does she get scared? Abigail says yes. Freya asks whether Rick knows. Abigail says he does. Freya admits she did not want to come to the base. She says her husband could have chosen any posting and chose this one. She cannot tell him she is afraid because he will call her a coward. Abigail tells her that Zane is here because he has something important to do, and she is here because she loves him. At night, Abigail wakes up and finds that Rick is not in his bed. She goes downstairs and finds him in the kitchen. Rick tells her he was feeling hot. He then puts his hand into a container of ice water. He holds it there and does not react. He tells Abigail to try it. She puts her hand in and immediately pulls back. It is freezing cold and hurts. Rick tells her he feels nothing at all. He holds his arm up. She stares at it and does not speak. During a group training session, Rick asks whether any of the other candidates are losing hair. A few say no. Rick runs his hand across his head and a clump comes away in his palm. Captain Vita Ramos collapses during a session. She starts convulsing and the medical team rushes to her. Despite everything they try, she does not recover. Vita dies. The remaining candidates gather afterward. One of them asks who is next. Another says Collingwood probably only needs one or two of them anyway. Zane pushes back and says they are all going up together as a team. Nobody responds. The group sits in the tension. Anton tells Rick his personal stories about being stationed in Syria. Tally Rutherford and his husband Andrew mentions to Abigail that they want to start a family now, but the law has changed so that having children requires a permit, and they can't get one here. Abigail notices something among the test subjects. The veins beneath their skin are visibly darker than normal, including Rick. Zane suddenly breaks down and attacks his wife Rayanne. Staff rush in and pull him off her, holding him down as he shouts and resists, assuring him he'll make it. He then calms down. Next day, while checking Rick's vitals, a doctor notes his spleen is struggling with the treatment and putting strain on his kidneys. Abigail asks if that's what killed Ramos. The doctor says that Ramos was prone to kidney stones, which caused the complication. Rick disagrees, saying that it wasn't kidney stones. Abigail identifies the medications and points out that 10 grams is very high. She asks to speak with Collingwood directly. She's told he's not available, but will come see her when he's free. At night, Rick suddenly starts vomiting blood. Abigail then collects a sample of it. She examines it herself under a microscope and finds it's turned dark, deeper than blood should ever look. Around the same time, she discovers hidden cameras placed throughout their own house. Rick sits at the bottom of the swimming pool. Large patches of his skin shed away into the water around him. That night in bed, Abigail notices more skin has peeled away from his back. Rick is told that Titan receives far less light than Earth. To allow him to see in near darkness, the rod cells in his eyes will be multiplied up to 8 times, shifting how his eyes work to be more like those of a cat. That night at home, Rick wakes suddenly and starts rubbing his eyes. Abigail calls for the medical team and gets him to the facility. A doctor checks his eyes and immediately orders the team to flush them and get him into surgery right away. Rick is taken through and the door closes. Collingwood arrives at the facility. Abigail confronts him about the cameras she found hidden in their house. He tells her it was the Pentagon's idea, meant for their security as well as the programs. He offers to have them removed if she wants. She tells him something is happening inside Rick that his research never accounted for, that he's changing in ways no one warned her about. Collingwood tells her he needs to manage the situation and walks away. That night, Abigail arrives home to find soldiers outside. Zane, in the middle of another violent breakdown, throws Rayanne through a window, killing her instantly. Soldiers shoot him dead moments later. Abigail goes to the medical facility to sit with Rick. While there, she steals his key card and uses it to sneak into a restricted area, making her way into Collingwood's office. Searching through his files, she finds autopsy reports on the test subjects who have died and discovers that their DNA is being fused with animal DNA in an attempt to create a new species, one Collingwood has started calling Homo titanian. NASA scientist Dr. Blake and Colonel Solano arrive at the base and tell Collingwood that they want the program shut down. Collingwood refuses. Blake calls it morally wrong that the subjects are becoming violent and losing control of themselves. Collingwood tells him NATO owns this base, not NASA, and if Solano wants it gone, he should call the field marshal at NATO. The meeting ends and nothing changes. Collingwood comes to Rick and Abigail's house to check on him after the surgery. He tells Rick his sight will return within 24 hours, and that he'll come back with far more than he had before. He explains they underestimated how fast Rick's brain would try to process his newly enhanced senses, and that the same thing caused Zane's breakdown. He tells Rick he needs another surgery. Abigail immediately refuses. Collingwood admits that during the first round of treatment, they injected an enzyme capable of rewriting human DNA. He puts a name to what he's been building, Homo Titanian, a new kind of human being. Abigail asks how he can be certain Rick's body won't mutate in ways nobody can predict. Collingwood admits that they don't know. He tells them that without the next surgery, Rick will lose control within 2 days and be dead within 3. Rick listens to all of it in silence. At home, Lucas removes the bandage covering his father's eyes. That night, Rick goes outside alone and sits in the pool, looking up at the sky. He then calls Collingwood to tell him that he can see everything in the darkness and he wants to finish it. He'll have the surgery. Rick is taken into the operating room for the final surgery. Rick and Tally Rutherford are the only 2 candidates to survive the full transformation. Collingwood tells Abigail they did it. Rick and Tally leave for Titan in 2 days. He explains that they now communicate at a frequency too low for human ears to detect and through physical contact. They are allowed to go home to their families until the launch. At home, Rick tries to put on a shirt, but it no longer fits his changed body. Abigail steps in to help him. As she does, he accidentally hits her, and she flinches back, frightened. Sometime later, Rick trains alone in the pool. Looking up, he sees Tally standing watching him. Tally kills her husband Lawrence. Abigail sees that something is wrong and pulls Lucas close. Tally then comes closer to Rick. Armed soldiers and SWAT teams surround both Rick and Tally outside. They open fire and shoot Tally dead. The moment the shooting starts, Rick moves through every soldier and kills them all. Abigail comes out of the house and tells him to stop. He then looks at the bodies around him and at his own hands. Then he runs. Abigail comes out of the house and finds the scene. Rick is gone. The base locks down. Collingwood argue with Colonel Solano. He says Rick is worth $300 million in research. Solano says Rick is a direct threat to every life on the base, and he will do what he has to. Abigail tells Lucas to stay where he is and runs out alone. She knows exactly where Rick will have gone, a hill at the edge of the base where the 2 of them used to run together in the mornings. She finds him there. She calls to him. He turns around. She asks him not to run. He cannot speak back to her. She reaches him. They hold each other. Moments later, the military closes in and brings them both down. Abigail wakes inside the facility. Collingwood explains that Rick's body has become incompatible with Earth's atmosphere. The air around him is now actively harmful to what he has become. He cannot stay. He needs to get to Titan, where his body will work properly. Rick is conscious but refuses to leave his family. Collingwood tells Abigail she is the only person Rick will allow near him without reacting violently. He hands her an injection and explains what it does, a compound that will wipe Rick's memory completely. Every memory of Abigail, of Lucas, of his life on Earth, all of it gone. Rick will stop resisting and go to Titan. Abigail asks what is the point of Rick surviving if he cannot remember who his son is. Collingwood tells her there is no going back from what Rick has become. Abigail takes the injection and goes toward Rick. She injects him, and he goes unconscious. She then tells Freya to come with her. Collingwood checks the syringe and realizes it was switched for saline. Rick suddenly wakes up and kills Colonel Peterson. He breaks through the room. Soldiers run after him. Abigail and Freya run for a side exit. On the way, they find Lucas and grab him. Lucas sees his father. The 3 of them make their way toward him. He is badly wounded from being shot. Collingwood walks in with armed soldiers and surrounds all of them. Collingwood gives his men a direct order: shoot Abigail, Freya, and Lucas. He wants Rick kept alive and the others gone. Colonel Solano is standing among them. He says he is not going to shoot 2 unarmed women and a child. He holds his ground. Every soldier points gun on Collingwood. Abigail, Freya, Lucas, and Rick are put on a plane and flown out of the base. Dr. Blake goes with them. They are taken to a completely separate facility called Titan II. At Titan II, Abigail is given a lead position in the research team. Rick is sent on alone to Titan itself, the world he was changed to survive, leaving his family behind on Earth. Sometime later, Abigail and Lucas stand together outside, looking up at the night sky, toward the moon where Rick now lives without them.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe for more movie explanations. Comment below your favorite moment. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.